How's it going? My name is Spencer Hill. I am the Business Development Manager here with the Better Business Bureau serving New Mexico and Southwest Colorado. And we are ready for another round of our AB2AB podcast. And I have a special guest here in the BBB studios today, Ricky Ricks, Splash Bro, here in the house.
Up,
Ricky,
man?
Thanks for coming in today.
Yeah, man.
I'm excited because we don't really get to learn about an industry such as, something that you think is so simple, right?
Yeah.
Water.
Yep.
But it goes so much deeper than just what meets the eye.
Yeah.
How did you get started in the industry of being Splash Bro?
Man, it's been a long time, bro. No pun intended. But so initially when I started doing prior military, I moved here from Arizona. I used to be a recruiter. Then I became a cop over at Kirtland. And then when I got out, I started bouncing around a little bit, and I was actually with the railroad. And
Interesting.
I was with the railroad. I was worked for BNSF. Went through all the training and everything, and then they furloughed me. And the furlough was supposed to be like a month. Furlough turned out to be 2 years. So during that time, I started a business. And then they called me and they're like, "Oh yeah, we want you to come back." And I'm like, "Nah, it's okay. I started a business, man." And it was just crazy how it happened. I'm big into fasting and praying, and that's really what I did every year. At the beginning of the year, I always start off the year with a fast, and during that time, when I was fasting, just these different things just started coming to me, and so by the time I came out of my fast, I had a business idea, business plan, everything. And so I just hit the ground running, and now I'm delivering water for a living.
Well, the interesting thing with that story too is the railroad notoriously makes pretty good money.
Oh yeah.
So I would think that had to have been a really difficult decision for you to finally make that jump and just realize, hey, I'm going to go all in on myself, and I believe in what I can do, can make a difference out here, and serve a market such as the Rio Rancho, Albuquerque area. When you're going through just those moments of reflection, was there a certain time that you remember, like, all right, we're going?
Yeah, man. That happened when I first started out. I only wanted to be in Rio Rancho, because at the time when I first started out, I was Kangen Cabazon was my name. But the reason why it was Kangen Cabazon because I lived in the Cabazon district, and I was like, man, it'd be pretty cool if I could deliver water in Cabazon, because the neighborhood is huge. It's like one of the biggest neighborhoods in the city, And so the funny thing is, when I went all in, I couldn't get anybody in Cabazon, but I started getting them everywhere else,
Interesting.
It was just so crazy. I'm like, man, when am I going to get some clients? And so before you know it, I'm going to South Valley, I'm going to other parts of Rio Rancho, over by the Air Force Base, and it just did it from there, man. My commitment was that I was going to get up early in the morning, and then I was going to start making my deliveries. And I had to figure out something that other people didn't do. And what other people didn't do was deliver super early in the morning. When I say super early, I'm talking like 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so
that's way early for me.
So
but
I'm pulling up, but I'm pulling up to your house. My thing is, I want my customers to see the hustle. So when you see me on your door cam, 3 o'clock in the morning, you wake up in the morning, boom, your water's on your doorstep,
ready to go.
Right there, like, whoa, like I haven't even got my mail yet, but I got my water.
Haven't even got the newspaper yet.
But I got my water.
That's amazing. So, and I'm sure you get this a lot, right? Okay, water. Like, I could just get it out of the tap, I'm sure you get all kinds of questions about that. But just a brief overview, like, what is the importance of having your water from Kangen?
Okay, so the importance of having Kangen water is that the water is alkaline and it's packed with tons of antioxidants. People always forget to talk about the antioxidants. Okay, everybody right now is thinking about Essentia and Smart Water, Armor, whatever it is, Body Armor, like all of these different waters. they're all alkaline, okay? But what people don't understand is that these bottled waters have additives put in it. If you look in the back of any alkaline water bottle, you're gonna see ingredients. You should not see ingredients for your water. The ingredients for your water should be water, okay?
Okay.
But when you look at the back of a bottle, you'll see sodium bicarbonate, all of these different things additives that they put into the water to give it an alkaline spike. Now, with my water, there are no additives, no alkaline spike. It goes through a process called electrolysis. I have a Kangen water machine where it electrifies the water, and I'm able to pinpoint the amount of alkalinity that I want at any time. I can go from 8.5 all the way up to 9.5, and then the antioxidants are packed in there. And so the beautiful thing about that is that's what those two together, the antioxidants and the alkaline, is what's going to give you the superior hydration. Okay, and that's what's going to allow the water to absorb into your cells. So if anybody's ever went to the gym and tried to take their big jug and try to chug it and everything, when you start drinking normal water, I call it peasant water, but when you
I like that. Hey, you gotta get creative with water,
you
right?
got to, but when you start drinking that water, right, you get that sloshy feeling in your stomach. Everybody's always had that. Okay, that's because your body's not absorbing the water. Okay, your body is only absorbing about 20% of that water. That's why you get that sloshy feeling. With my water, your body absorbs 80%, and you don't get that sloshy feeling.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, you almost seem, yes, a business owner, yes, an expert in the field, but also a scientist when it comes down to it too.
Yeah.
There's so much that goes into that. Were you interested in the science of it right away, or was that something that kind of came as you developed in the business?
You know what? It was, I wanted to know because I work out a lot, and so I was just looking for good hydration after a hard workout. And I started realizing like, wow, I actually feel good. Then I started trying to figure out why, and so when I started peeling back that onion, I started learning different things about the water. I'm like, wow, this is pretty good, And part of my thing with the business is really just trying to make this kind of water affordable to everybody, because typically when people have a cake, in order for you to get this water, you have to have the machine, and I just want to provide good water to people, you know what I mean? Like regardless, it doesn't matter what side of town you're on, you should be able to get it, whether you can afford a machine or not. I can always make that water affordable.
I totally respect that. And I think another thing that would be very important in your realm too is reputation, and then just the trust in that process, and trust that what you're telling people is accurate information. How do you basically convey that trust, and how do you work the relationships to make sure that people are understanding the why behind your business?
So everybody that I sign up as clients, they all get informational videos on the water, so they know exactly what they're drinking. And then periodically, I may send them some information on the water they're drinking as well, maybe a couple flyers or something like that when I'm dropping off water. But typically, everybody always gets an initial text, hey, look, this is what you're drinking, this is what the machine's like, this is all the different settings that's available to you, and then they just pick from there.
And I think another thing that's really neat about you, anybody that has been local to the central New Mexico area, I think you've probably seen Ricky at some sort of event. You're very involved in the community. What are some of the things that you look at when it comes to just that involvement, whether it's working with some of the partnerships through the BBB or maybe some local chambers? Why is that important to you and your business model?
Because you just got to be out there with the people, man. You got to meet people where they are. You have to be there. You can't, in this day and age with this social media age and everything, you can't just own a business and not be present. People have to see you. And so I just try to find events. Matter of fact, we were just at the YMCA like 2 weeks ago for an event for the kids, and we gave all the kids water, and
that's nice.
It was pretty cool. They walked away with gift bags and everything, so it was a good thing.
That's really neat. And I think that being able to give back to the community is so important too, especially here in New Mexico, because we are so intertwined. When it comes to just being so involved too, do you get the reception from all of your local business community and clients that it matters because you're a locally owned business, especially in the Rio Rancho area?
Man, it's just trying to, that's a tough nut to crack, man, because, in this day and age, a lot of people are really focusing on like the bigger businesses, small businesses are kind of suffering, so I feel like I have to really like work harder to be known for people to, to really build that relationship, or for people to just remember me, when I do meet them, like, oh, wasn't that was a water guy, and oh yeah, and then maybe even remember my name and then look me up on Instagram or Facebook or Google or something like that. So yeah, it's just, I have a good reception with people, but it's just, just trying to stay in there.
So I want to end this with a little bit of rapid fire, if that's all right with you.
Let's do it, man.
All right. First piece of advice that you'd give a new business owner.
Oh man, bet on yourself, man. Bet
All
on
right.
yourself. Nobody's gonna follow your dream like you. I've tried it. I've tried to, just build teams and all these different things, but nobody's gonna be as passionate about your baby as you are.
I love that. Question number 2. One mistake that you would absolutely avoid if you knew everything you know right now, but you were starting your business day one.
It's gonna be controversial. Don't give any discounts.
Okay.
Don't give any discounts. So in my experience, when you give people discounts, you're diminishing your product. And I know that you want that business, but when you do that, you're setting the tone, that now that person wants a discount, this person, the people they refer you want discounts, and before you know it, you're in business to make money, and to keep your business afloat. Can't keep your business afloat with discounts, and I learned that the hard way.
I think that's a really special piece of advice that is hard to swallow, because you want to help people at first.
You do, and it's a tough thing, because I'm a very helping person, and that's why, for the first few years, I was giving discount, and I was, feeling good about it. I was really helping people, but I was struggling with my business, and when I really sat down and looked at it, I was like, man, I have to change my pricing, and that was, I set myself back by doing that.
Well, I think this is a perfect way to close out this AB2AB podcast, Ricky. The last thing that I just want to ask you is, what's next for Splash Bro, and how can everybody find more information about your business?
What's next for us is right now we have 456 Google reviews, 5-star rated reviews. What's next is to get to 500.
Okay.
So that's the goal, is to get to 500. Where you can find me, I am at 1542 Stephanie Road, right behind Intel. So,
perfect. Easy to find.
Yep.
And then you also have social media as well.
Yep, and I do. Splash Bro on Instagram and Facebook.
All right.
Yep.
That's Ricky Ricks. That is Splash Bro. We are so pumped to have you in the house today.
Thanks, man.
Hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And that's going to wrap up another episode of the AB2AB podcast here with the Better Business Bureau, serving New Mexico and Southwest Colorado. Stay tuned, and don't forget to subscribe and like us here on all of our platforms, as we're going to keep you up to date with everything going on when it comes to business here in New Mexico and Southwest Colorado. Till next time, I'm Spencer Hill.